Welcome to another CTI Facebook Learning Series video. We get asked a lot of questions. People see signs saying that they should look at suspect activity and report it. People see things on the news that they should report suspect activity. People get on planes and they're told that they should report suspect activity. But there's not a lot of information given about that. So the questions keep coming to us about that. This is an attempt to work through those questions very quickly and help all of us to be able to report suspect activity and to be able to report it in a way that's actually a lot more helpful to the authorities. Awareness. Awareness to terrorist activity translates well to any criminal activity. So this is basically part of a PowerPoint that I give on lectures on awareness. And this is just a section of that particular PowerPoint that I give on how to awareness to terrorist activity and aware to any type of criminal activity in your life. Out of that section is who can report. Reporting is a community effort. Well, we see this all the time in the newspapers and such. Law enforcement officers can't be everywhere. They need the eyes and ears of the entire community. Fellow employees, merchants, restaurants, service providers, but most importantly, you. Bad guys are not always obvious, but they often do stand out if you are aware of what's going on around you. Look for people that are just standing around waiting or sitting in a car for hours in your neighborhood. This does not mean you should call the police every time you see something that looks suspicious, but it should get your attention. That alone may cause the person to move or go away. By no means do you want to confront a suspicious person without having someone or some method to ensure your safety. Police don't work without backup. You shouldn't work either. In most cases, it's best just to stand back and look at the activity and be aware of it. What can you do? One thing you can do is get a description. Easily said. You can get the height, the weight, the gender, the race, the color. What the person looks like, though, is probably the most important. If the person looks like Bing Crosby in drag, that's something we can all relate to. When you tell a police officer, an FBI agent, or some other security person that type of description, they can look through a mall and see somebody. Maybe it isn't Bing Crosby, but they can look at it and say, you know, that looks like the person that you were describing. Do it from a safe area, and remember that all we want is your best idea. In many cases, who they look like is the best description. Your idea of short or fat, or blonde or bald is your idea. But if we have someone to match it to, then we can all start from the same framework. Even if you say it looks like my brother Bill, at least we can go back and find a picture of your brother Bill and perhaps even look it up on his driver's license, and then we'll have a description we can work with, or that you can change and say it looks like Bill, but he's got more hair, he's got this, and something we can all work with. Same with the description of a vehicle. The color, the type, the size, these are all things that are very helpful. Old, new, shape, 2 or 4 door, these are all extremely helpful in describing a vehicle for the police to go after. Of course, the license plate number is probably the most helpful that we can go after. But it doesn't mean you want to run out there in front of someone or you want to put yourself in some kind of danger to find that license plate, but it would be the most helpful thing we could do. Once again, though, often the best description is what car you know that it looks like. If your brother owned a white car that looked like the one you see, then start your description there. The police can always find out what car your brother owned and then go from there. When describing the height of a person or object, it often helps to look at them next to a fixed object, like the window for the little girl. That gives the authority a fixed point they can measure to. The key to get as much subjectivity out of the description as we can. A little girl can mean different things to different people, but stating she looked about 6 inches taller than the bottom of that window can help authorities make a better determination. Same thing with the car here. The gentleman standing next to the car, if you're saying he was a foot taller than that car, or his shoulders were above the roof of that car, that gives us a height description that we can probably work with a lot better than saying he was tall. Watching somebody use binoculars to watch people or a building can be very suspicious, but calling 911 to report it is not going to work in most cases. If it's the only thing you've got and it looks that suspicious, please do dial 911. But 911 operators are often kept very busy with critical events, like a burglary in progress or a person needing medical assistance. Having a non-emergency police, security, or other reporting telephone number can be much more effective. In many cases, just writing down the incident is best. Studies have found that writing down descriptions as they happen improve memory recall, even if the written paper is not available. It has also worked well to call your voicemail box and leave a vehicle tag number or description on your voicemail box. Even just describing the incident out loud to yourself seems to help improve memory recall. Actually, studies have found that if you just write on your hand with your finger the license plate number of a car and state it out loud, that those attack all parts of your memory, and it makes it so it's much easier for you to recall it later. Here's some action exercises you can take. Practice when you're in a hotel, airport, or anywhere there are people. Practice describing them to yourself. Look at people's actions, how they act when they are alone, how they interact with people passing by. In many cases, you will start to pick up suspect actions. For example, a man looking at a woman's figure but trying not to show it is one that you can probably recognize very quickly. Practice looking at vehicles and describing them. Look at plate numbers and say them out loud. In a short time, you will find that you can remember people and cars in your daily commute that you never did before. Find out where the nearest police station is, and the non-emergency phone numbers for your local police. If you have a security guard at your office or apartment complex, find the number and what hours they are on duty. We hope this helped. CTI is a full-service consulting firm, and we can be reached at phone number 301-907-0127. Our web address is www.cticonsulting.us. I can be found on Twitter at RichRoth1. Keep following our YouTube channel, and we will continue to add content. Have a good day. Thank you.